Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite is podcast, favorite is channel, favorite is everything. We are back. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at @TheMarkJohn NFL. I can say this again at BDWilliams18 and at MHolder95. And of course, PandaSubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. So yeah, I feel like this is like a star-studded show. I feel like this is star-studded. We are back. Matt was supposed to have his baby, but the baby doesn't want to come out yet. I guess the baby wants to see them play the Dolphins first. She's not coming out to play the Dolphins. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess she's gonna be a bye week baby. She didn't want to come out and watch that beatdown by the Bengals. She knew it was best for her.
She's waiting for the bye week. Congrats.
She's waiting for the bye week, right? So we had BD was gonna fill in, so we got BD Williams in the house. So I know some of your fans appreciate that. So definitely, like I said, we are back here covering the Bengals film review. All right, so the Bengals kicked the Raiders' ass. What was it, 41-24? Pretty damn beatdown, right? Offense and defense. I mean, Luke Getsy got fired because of it. And so did the whole coaching staff, which I thought was interesting. They fired the quarterback coach and the offensive line coach. It wasn't just the offensive coordinator. They cleaned house. He basically cleaned out everybody who wasn't like affiliated with him. And now we got Scott Turner and Norv Turner. So we're gonna be covering that. Matt's gonna be doing Cameron Richardson. BD's gonna be doing Divine Diablo and all the touchdowns, and Divine Diablo in cover 2 specifically, and I'm gonna be doing JPJ and Jakobi Meyers. So this could be a good show today. But guys, let's talk about Luke Getsy getting fired. I guess we gotta talk about that, right? Luke Getsy got fired. He's done in Raiders land. My thoughts on it is that his running game was just way too predictable. I thought the way they were coaching it was bad, and I think that was the biggest part of it, is that they couldn't run the ball after the first drive. I feel like the last 4 first drives, you talk about, oh my God, they're great on the first drive. It's because they ran the ball well on those drives. Then after that, they didn't run the ball well. So that was kind of the big thing with Luke Getsy. Luke Getsy, he was getting pretty decent numbers at Gardner Minshew's past couple games before Minshew hurt his shoulder. But yeah, I think it was time for Getsy to go, because I think that they had no answer for the run game, and it wasn't going to change. The way they're coaching it, the way they're calling it, it was just ugly.
Where did he come from, this Luke Getsy guy? He's like a hot commodity, like someone else.
No. He was a third choice.
Right. So I mean, I think, sorry to interrupt, Matt. This comes down to, can Antonio Pierce hire a coaching staff? Right? Like, he could be a rah guy, right? But do people actually want to come and coach with Antonio Pierce? I feel like that's
Cliff Kingsbury didn't.
I know, so right.
Yeah. I think
go ahead, Matt.
I know. I was just going to say, I think for me, like the last part of what you're talking about, Marcus, about him just not changing was ultimately what did him in. And I think the frustrating thing, looking back on it, is that was part of the problem in Chicago. Like, if you remember with the Bears, like they were always talking about like Fields needs to be more involved in the running game by getting this and that. And like they need to change the passing game to fit Fields' strength. And he did it a little bit at the end of last season, but like it took him a year and a half to really do that. And then you come to the Raiders and it's like, all right, you have a great vertical passing attack, which, I mean, we showed it on film, or you showed it on film, Marcus, where like there were guys open. Like there was the scheme itself was all right. The problem was it wasn't a fit for his personnel. And I mean, we talk about the running game. I don't know how many times we had to say that they should be running more gap runs instead of all these zone runs. And it was the same thing week after week. And I think to me, it's like that was the frustrating thing. And that's where it got harder and harder to defend Luke Getsy of like, man, I like what you do in the vertical passing game, but like you said, the short passing game and the running game were way too predictable. And ultimately what did him in his cardinal sin is that he just cannot adapt, and he's just so stuck in his ways. And that's why he doesn't have a job right now. And it might be a bit till he gets another one.
Do you guys think that the Raiders offense has enough talent for like someone to like just an average coach to get more, or is
to be honest, outside and at the wide receiver position, yes. I mean, the offensive line itself, I mean, it's young, but I think that they were creating more holes. Like Jordan Meredith has been playing really well. I think when Parham came back in, he played well when he got hurt. It's like, but the running backs aren't very good. Madison and Zamir White are not very good. I mean, that's a big discussion that nobody really wants to talk about. So those two are just not good running backs. So, I'm watching other guys film, and there's these running backs hitting these holes that these guys just won't hit, and they just keep missing holes. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to fix the run game itself with Scott Turner, but I think the passing game, what Scott Turner likes to do, I think they'll try to fix that, in my opinion. But I don't know about the run game. I mean, the run game is more about coaching, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to tell these guys to block. They do a lot of weird stuff, and I think teams just know what they're going to do at that point. So that's why they kind of fired everybody. I know the quarterback coach was weird because I don't know what the hell he got fired for. I mean, I don't know, what was he? Because he knew them or something. Take all your boys with you. I feel like that's what it was. I feel like it was just, you get fired, take everybody that you came in here with you. And that was the interesting part of it, because I was like, why did you get rid of Rich? Like, what was Rich? What was he doing?
Part of it, I think, is a little bit of a AP doing a little CYA, being like, see, it was their fault, pointing the finger a little bit where he's feeling the hot seat at the very least. And I think part of that's part of the quarterback change or quarterback coach change. The other aspect of it is, I mean, we look at a guy like Aiden O'Connell, not that we expected Scangarello to do much with Gardner Minshew because he is who he is at this point. But I mean, Aiden O'Connell doesn't even look as good as he was last year. So I think that's what you can kind of point to of like, I think if we could really like put some true serum in the Raiders and Antonio Pierce and ask him, I would be surprised if it was like the fact that Aiden O'Connell honestly just didn't look better than he did last year, and honestly looked a little bit worse, when I think deep down, if you asked anybody in the Raiders organization if who they wanted to win the quarterback competition, it was going to be Aiden O'Connell. And obviously he didn't develop enough to win the job, and kind of fall a little bit on the coach. But I am kind of happy they got rid of Craig, because like you talked about, a lot of the scheme and a lot of the technique that you're talking about, like the whole wrap technique with the wide arms and stuff like that. I can't stand that.
That's why I'm gonna show that. That's why Thayer Mumford got lifted off the ground.
Yes,
at 340 pounds, you get by a man who's like 260. So, it's because of the technique that they're being coached. Yeah. And now you got Norv Turner coming in, Scott Turner coming in, making the coach. Now, I talked about this on Twitter that Norv Turner has never ran the West Coast. He's Air Coryell. This is 989. This is dude's calling 9 routes. He's not, the routes are numbered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's coming in, and he's the advisor. Scott Turner is a little bit of mixture of both. Okay. Now, they can't input a whole new offense, right?
I mean, it would be smarter. It would be smarter for them to kind of like go figure out what the verbiage is already. Like, wait, like did they fire the entire offensive staff?
Yes,
just the 3 main ones: OC, quarterbacks, and O line. But
all right, so they have the quality control guys still there.
Yeah, the quality control guy. Yeah.
Okay, and the running backs coach, this guy can't even do it. Running backs coach isn't even doing it well. This doesn't sound like it, at least. But all right, but basically what they got to do is they got to jerry hole their scheme, or what they want to do into what the current verbiage is. And see if they could pick apart the playbook and make it make sense. But that's tough to do. I mean, they're gonna basically run only a small package going into this week, and then see if they can ramp it up, get the play through the bye week logistically. But I mean, everyone's just at this point, everyone's just coaching and playing for your jobs next year, right? That's what that's what the message is. Put good film out there so that you can maybe play another year in the NFL. Right? That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the very least, making sure you get another contract.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Just try to be around next year somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. Bring in Norv Turner, he doesn't run the West Coast at all. So you're right, BD. I guess they have to put into the verbiage that's there. But it's not the same system. But Scott Turner has a little bit of mixture of both a little bit, but he's still, he's calling, if you watch Commanders tape, You got to call him now, but he was a coach when they were the other name. But the Commanders, I mean, he's running 989. I mean, that's like an air court. I mean, it's Bruce Arians, those things. You're running those two verticals with the post in the middle. He's running that stuff. So it's there. We'll see. I mean, I guess you could just call it something different, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird to bring in Norv Turner because I just don't know what the hell he's going to advise. I mean, Scott Turner has coached by himself before. Why does he need his dad?
Well, they got some vacancies, so I don't know. Might as well fill a coaching staff. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, no. The reason why he needs his dad is so that he can figure out, you know, how to do this in the middle of the year. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's like taking a. This is great for Scott Turner because he can just like be balls to the wall and just do whatever. Because like no one's gonna be like, oh, you had a bad year coaching. You know, like you know what I mean. Yeah. So
playing with house money.
Right. Yeah, he's can definitely just do like throw some trick plays out there. You know, like maybe it's a good energizer, but I mean, I think attitude has to change. It seems like.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's get to this film stuff. So, you guys both did the defense. Of course, I'm an offense over here on my side by myself with this shitty offense. But
we had the JPJ tape. That was. I mean,
it was good tape. It was good tape, JPJ. Well, so both of you guys give your thoughts on the defense. What did you guys think of the film, and what were your thoughts?
Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, I think kind of what we were talking about a little bit before the show is the DBs. I thought actually had a pretty good game. I thought Jakobi Bennett had a couple of nice tackles after the catch, got a couple of defensive stops, if you will, in coverage and whatnot. I'm going to go over to Cameron Richardson, who got targeted, I think, three times, didn't allow a single catch, had a couple of nice force outs, and I thought he had a pretty good game overall, especially considering, you know, it was, I mean, he'd played before, but it was basically his NFL debut. It was the first time he had recorded like double-digit snaps on defense. So I thought he played pretty well for where he's at. And I mean, battled some injuries beginning of the year and showed a little bit of promise moving forward. And I mean, he was a guy that when we broke him down over the summer, I think I said it on here where he's a little bit more of a development guy, and I didn't expect much from him this year. So the fact that, again, he goes into what was basically his first real or significant NFL action on defense and played pretty well is encouraging for his development. I mean, he had a nice rep against Jamar Chase. Chase got him once. We'll see that one too. But, you know, he didn't seem like the moment was too big for him and was willing to go up against an elite wide receiver. The problem was the run. I don't know what the average was, but there were quite a few chunk 8, 9, 10-yard runs that I think everyone saw, and defensive tackles were having a little bit of a tough day. Crosby didn't have his best game for sure. And then, I mean, in coverage, I'll let BD take the floor a little bit on this one, but they seem to be picking on the linebackers a little bit in the middle of the field. I think they allowed like 3 of the 5 touchdowns. If you're looking on PFF, and I think it was like 9 out of 10 completions, 9 completions on 10 targets. So yeah, that was kind of the BD got the crappy end of the breakdown, I guess, this week for defense.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what was glaring when I was watching it. Kind of, you know, that Joe Burrow picking on the linebackers, specifically Devon Diablo. But yeah, I mean, the Raiders defense has like some flashes, like when they're playing physical and maybe they get some stops and stuff like that. But yeah, like a lot of lack of like integrity in their gaps when they're playing the run. A lot of guys just shooting in, you know, pinning their ears back, giving up contain or giving up the edge, whatever it is. And then you get that chunk gain or something like that, and you get behind the ball a little bit. So I'm seeing too much of that. So not enough discipline. Some guys that I've been down on though, like throughout the year when I'm doing the members only breakdown, have been Jack Jones, for instance. But I would say like his intensity and effort I've seen like have picked up for sure the last couple of weeks. And he probably had his best game like of this current year. against the Bengals or last couple weeks, I would say. So he's definitely like improving, and we see some physicality in the secondary improving, but just not enough discipline. And I don't know if they have the guys, honestly, like up front, like in the middle, to like have a rotation where you have some run stuffers. I think they're kind of the cover is kind of bare at defensive tackle. It doesn't seem like there's like an impact player there, especially with the injury to 93 earlier on.
Yeah, Wilkins 94.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's like a broken record at this point. Like I feel like the last few weeks I've been sitting there saying, "Yep, teams are picking on the linebackers and the defensive tackles aren't holding up against the run." But yeah, it's been pretty clear ever since he got out that the Raiders lacked a lot of depth that on the interior of the D line, and I mean that's just rearing its head, especially without that guy.
It was questionable. It was questionable even when he was there, because like these guys aren't really effective against the run, and they're barely effective pass rushers. So they're all like sub rushers. This entire defensive line, it seems like.
It doesn't help either. And I think John Jenkins too. John Jenkins was supposed to be their rock, and I feel like he's had a pretty rough last few.
He must be having injury. His pad level is not great. He's getting pushed around a lot. He has
battery's 35.
Yeah, right. But I've seen guys play like at 35. Like they're not gonna get any stacks. You know what I mean? At 35, but like they'll be in there like not getting pushed around. I think his pad level's too high. He just is not. Sure. He's not an anchor at all. Like when he's out there, more often he's giving up ground. To be honest with you, so. But that's all the defensive tackles. They're either giving up ground or they're getting out of their gap altogether. They're just shooting into the backfield. So that's kind of what it's been.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, the offense was of course they had the great first drive, but then after that, I mean, Thayer Munford got his butt kicked. Like it's hard to describe how he got his butt kicked this week. And when Colt Miller went out, and then Andres Pete went out. I mean, this game was basically they were in trouble because I believe like almost every time they passed, he got beat, like almost every single time. And it really ruined the whole game. Like, if you think about it, when I think about it, like how this game was going, I mean, they were moving the ball on the Bengals defense. And then when Pete got hurt and Munford had to move to left tackle, their whole game plan went out because, Munford's supposed to be their tight end that they're doing right now. So they didn't have that game plan. They had to play Justin Shorter, who's more of a running, obviously a
converted wide receiver.
Basically, converted wide receiver to tight end. And then, so their whole game went away. The run game is so messed up. Like, there's this one play on split zone where Justin Shorter and Alex Madison run into each other. And I don't know if Madison's too close in shotgun why that happened, but that's how the run game is, because there's a huge hole. I don't know if I'm showing this play. I think I might, but there's a huge hole, and Madison just runs right into Shorter, and I feel like that's like the whole offense right now. Because Jakobi Meyers had a really good game. Brock Bowers is getting open. I still think Trey Tucker gets open. I think DJ Turner gets open too. It's just, when you had Thayer Munford out there, like Thayer Munford was just, because DJ Glaze didn't play well either. Probably his worst game so far as a player on the field. But man, Munford was just, I don't like, if Miller's hurt really bad, I don't know what you could do at left tackle, man. I don't know what their plan is, because you can't play him.
You got to sign someone.
Because if Trey Hendrickson's good. Okay, I mean he's low key great, but man, I just never seen somebody get beat down like that.
How much more 7-step drop are we going to be seeing though?
I mean, if
I don't think it mattered. To be honest, I feel like Ritter got sacked on the big sack that he got that I'm gonna show. I feel like that was a 3-step drop. I don't feel like that was 7. I feel like
so maybe 7-step drop. If you can't defend, you can't block for 3 steps. What's he gonna do for 7? All right, look. You need a tackle in this kind of offense. The Turner offense, you need tackles. Straight up, Mumford is not a tackle, and like they're gonna move him to guard or they're cutting him. He's not a tackle in a North Turner offense.
Yeah, it was just...
Is that dude from TCU still on the practice squad? He was a decent pass pro guy.
I mean, Dolan Wagner. I don't know. Did they move Glaze to left tackle? You know, I don't.
Played it last year at He played it last year, I think. Yeah, that's right. He played it last year at Maryland. I don't know. Do you want to screw with? Do you want to screw with him though?
Yes.
I mean, because let's be real. Like, we don't want to see Desmond Ridder or Gardner Minshew get destroyed because no one wants to see that. But at the same time, like, I think developing your right tackle versus protecting the quarterback that's not going to be on your roster probably next year is a little bit higher priority.
I don't know. Desmond Ridder, if Thayer Mumford's playing left tackle, Desmond Ridder is not making it. We're gonna see Gardner Minshew again because he got when Mumford got lifted off the ground and he got hit. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna get up.
Yeah, Ridder. Yeah, I mean, Ridder, because he got planted too,
like 4 times. Like he had a sack fumble. He almost fumbled one time, but he got lucky and he was throwing the ball forward. Like Mumford was just getting destroyed, and it was hard to watch. I've never seen a lineman get beat like that in a long time. In a long time, it's been a long time. It was like some Alex Leatherwood stuff. You remember Alex Leatherwood when he was getting beat? That's what it was. It was Leatherwood. It was 2021. Alex Leatherwood at left tackle. That's really, if you guys want like an idea. And I thought about doing it on the breakdown, but I was like, man, you know what? That's just, it's too much. It's like every snap.
When I was in college, our head coach used to have he was an all-line coach too. He used to have a saying of like, you're either a stop sign or a speed bump. Stop sign meaning like, obviously you stop the car. Speed bump, you might slow him down a little bit. Thayer Munford was a speed bump.
I didn't even know that, man. I think he used the Autobahn.
Just flat ground. The Autobahn? Damn.
He was a runway to the quarterback.
He was. I mean, I'm going to show the play where he got lifted because I just want to make a point about how James Craig was coaching these guys. All right, guys. Let's get into this film. Like, who wants to go first? Who wants to?
Let's do it. You guys got to go first. I'm going to be rusty, so let's see.
All right, I'll go first. We'll do offense first. Do some positivity. We'll start off with positivity, some JPJ here. All right, so we can start off with JPJ playing center, and he was just a monster all game. It was fun to watch. I mean, because you got to think about the Raiders' future here, and that's what you see with JPJ. Now, one thing I noticed about JPJ, and you probably noticed this too, Matt, is that we talk about his pad level, right? Yep. It was high, but this week it was a little high still, but it was better than him at guard. You see him getting that push right here.
Yeah.
On this double team right here, looks like this is on this dual run right here. The push he's getting with 90, right? And of course, other guys lose, but you can just see the push that he's getting at center. And he's a nuts. He's a nutcase too. Here's another one. Another little duo run here. Like I said, you can see a little bit of the high pad level, but it's just better at center a little bit. He's just so powerful. He just still pushes. Jenkins can't get anywhere close to that. Because the hand placement is still good. Everything's still good. I mean, the pad level is still high, and he's going to have to get that down. You know, because he goes against, you know, I mean, he's not going to face Dexter Lawrence every week, but he faces those caliber player. Dexter Lawrence is going to lift him off the ground too. So it's going to be the same thing. But you still see how fast his get off is. This is something I noticed when he was in college. It's like the snap, you see the ball is out. Oh, I was trying to time it. The ball is already out. He's already moving.
Yeah.
Right? And you see the push that he gets here. Right? It's just, I mean, they just ran duo like all game. You see Jordan Meredith got crazy push on this play too. But you see how JPJ, the push that they're getting here. I mean, he was just consistently a monster in the run game. It was just consistent.
D lineman went from one hash to the other.
I know. This is my favorite one, which, you know, a Raiders fan did not like. Which, you know, because you're seeing here on this, he's getting the combo block here. Looks like a little split zone here. But you got the blitzer coming, and you see JPJ see the blitz real quick, right? gets that block, pushes that guy out of the way. Glaze gets beat here, but you see what JPJ is doing. JPJ just moves that guy all the way out.
Yeah.
And that's what you like. You like this. I mean, I've never seen Andre James do this. That's all I was just saying.
Yeah, against a crashing linebacker like that, basically all you got to do is just get a piece of him. As long as you can make some contact, throw him off balance, that'll work.
You got more than a piece, man.
Yeah, you got more, what I mean? Yeah, got a little more.
All right, here we go. Here's another one here. Like I said, they ran duo to death this week. It's like I feel like this is the only run play they ran. But you see here, he's getting the push here. Now, a fan of the show, he pointed this out. He coaches O-line coaching UK, how they're kind of letting this linebacker go through. Like he should be more patient, letting this linebacker go through here. Ends up being a tackle. But just for what he's being coached to do, okay? I mean, whatever you could say, whatever they're supposed to do, I don't care. But what he's being coached to do, how he's getting off his block right here, how he's moving this guy with Meredith, I mean, that's still damn impressive.
I mean, Whitehair's the one who should be picking up that linebacker.
Yeah. Of course he doesn't because he's Cody Whitehair. But you see how JPJ is just a monster in the run game. He's just it's just totally different, you know. Just to watch this is just it just impresses me here. So like this one, I mean, Chris Jenkins tries to do like, you know, the whole little knee thing where I go through the double team. He's like, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to get on one knee today. You're going to be on the ground. You're not doing the one knee. You're not doing the little one knee push two guys through. That ain't gonna work. You're gonna be on the ground here. I mean, Zamir White kind of like he saw Mike Hilton and try like to make a miss. I don't know. You just keep running, bro. Just run forward. You can't tackle if you keep running. But there's still a big enough hole there where he's able to get some yards there. But you see just JPJ just dominate this dude. Chris Jenkins did not have a great day against him. Like Chris Jenkins Jr. He definitely did not have a good day against him. So here's another run here. And this one I like because he kind of opens up this hole a little bit. Now, of course, DJ Turner doesn't get to Mike Hilton. But you see here on this one, he's able to flip his hips quickly. He has good pad level here. He just takes that guy to the ground too already. They're kind of tripping over each other. But, Mike Hilton makes this play. Maybe Amir Abdullah could attack him a little bit more. But that has nothing to do with JPJ. JPJ almost actually gets hurt on this play. But you see how he's able to flip his hips. It's just impressive, man. This dude's a center for real. Because, even at left guard, you can talk about Matt. He did not look like this at left guard.
No. He just looked more comfortable at center.
Yeah. I really like this one because you can see how he this quick combo block here, able to get to the second level. One thing we saw from Andre James a lot is holding these blocks too long. And, I hate how Madison reads this. I don't know where the hell he's going.
Dude.
Like, I don't know where the hell he's going on this. I don't know. I have no idea. But you see how JPJ gets the second level. He gets a Logan Wilson. There's the hole right there. Right. You could just run into JPJ back and you're getting 7, I think, because everybody's going forward. I don't know. But I don't know. He sees this guy cross his face, and for some reason he thinks he can go this way, but he jumps right into Mike Hilton.
Yeah.
But you see what JPJ is doing here is combo block, get to the combo block, get to the second level quick, get the movement, get some push on him. There's the hole right there. Even this guy tries to tackle you, it's an arm tackle. You can run through that. You can get some more yards than what you got here.
Instead of running into the unblocked defender.
It's all year, man. This has been all year. All right, so let's get some pass protection here. Like I said, the pad level's still a little high, right? But you can see how quick he snaps the ball. Let's just talk about this. Let's talk about these quick snaps. We haven't seen a quick snap in a long time, in about 4 seasons now. Quick snap here. Gets to his pass rush, helps out Jordan Meredith. You see the anchor. That guy's not going anywhere. Good hand placement there. There's a little bit of pressure there from Minshew, but it didn't come from him. It didn't come from JPJ at all. Here's another one here. He's gonna be impatient, waiting to decide, like, because he knows he's got help inside here from Meredith. He's patient there, able to get his hands back inside there. Like I said, the pad level's still high, but you see the fight that he has and the power to anchor there against a big guy. Of course, we see Thayer Mumford get his butt kicked here. It's constant, guys. It's just
You back that up a little bit. Watch his hands too. Like, watch how he loses a little bit initially, right? Like, he doesn't have great pad level, but he works the hands, and if you saw that, like, where he lift the hands up, that just like kills the pass rusher's momentum and helps him re-anchor. That was impressive when I watched that.
Yeah, just don't watch Thayer Mumford here, guys. We're good. All right, here's another one. Like I said, the patience, like, he knows if he goes inside, I got him and Meredith got it. He's like, okay, I can get it with Meredith. But you see the patience here, able to win the hand fight. Like I said, McKinley Jackson has too high a pad level too, so it works better for JPJ here. But you still see the hand fight, the anchor. Allows the quarterback to get the ball off quick. There's another one here. Like I said, him and Jordan Meredith, man, they must be like roommates or something. Like,
real good together.
I know, yeah. Ritter gets sacked here, but you see how he works with Meredith. Sack's not on him. I mean, he has full control of McKinley Jackson. The sack's kind of on Ritter, in my opinion, but it's also a little bit on Getsy because I just don't understand calling slants here. Yet, like, this is not gonna work, man. You can't. They're playing man. It's not gonna work. That's why he got fired. All right, here we go. Another one. Pass protection here. No, I mean, this ends up being a good play by Desmond Ritter, but you see here, just like I said, he does the same thing with Parham. Parham blocks. He's patient, waits for the guy to come to him. Doesn't get over anxious or just attack it, and kind of just pushes the guy out of there. Of course, that maybe gets some pressure here, but it's a great throw by Ritter. Yeah, but JPJ was really good this past week. All right, so I showed this Thayer Mumford play because we talked about this the two-hand clamp technique, right? Which you've been seeing for the Raiders. Okay, now this is embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So one, I think Thayer Mumford is really slow in his set here. I mean, he's really slow in his set. And then you see here, like, what he's doing the two clamp technique, which is basically you just leaving your chest wide open. And a lot of these guys are doing it. I mean, they're being coached to do that, obviously. And you just see, like, immediately.
Timber.
But this is why James Craig got fired here, because I mean, this is a technique. I mean, he's teaching us. You can see that a lot of the other guys opening their arms like this, and this is what happens.
Oh God, poor Desmond Ritter, man.
Desmond Ritter, I was just saying, he's lucky this is not the '90s because he would be in the hospital. He would be in the hospital. All right, so I want to talk about Jakobi Meyers because I thought he just had a really good game, and I think he's going to be really good for a rookie quarterback that the Raiders are going to be drafting. So, and why they should keep him on this team. So, like, this one I really like. You got Dagger here. It might be double digs, but I feel like Tate Tucker's kind of reading this and he's turning this into a little bit to a post. You see here, what I like about this one is that he sees the zone just like Gardner Minshew does. He's such a smart player. He stops. Makes that catch. Minshew didn't play that bad this game. I just want to say that. He didn't play that bad. Oh my God. I've been a Minshew hater. He was okay. Now this one, Minshew kind of missed him. He went to Brock Bowers instead. Brock Bowers ended up dropping this, but you see what he's doing at Cam Taylor Britt down here. That's a touchdown.
He put the hand up.
He put the hand up, but he was throwing Brock Bowers, which that's still a great throw. But he just had an easier throw down here. And in my opinion, like how the safety was shading, there's like if he throws it out, so there's no way the safety gets there. And maybe he should have went there, but I just want to show that right. He was just cooking all game, man. He was just cooking. all damn game. So I like this one too. You don't win. You shut up the back shoulder here. You see, I don't win. Okay, I'm not winning against DJ Turner here. So I know I'm going to get back shoulder. I find the football, high point it. Like, this is a young quarterback's best friend. This is why I wanted to show this. He's literally a young quarterback's best friend here. I think it's going to be something good here. This route was this is what we call a diamond release. So you see him open up that slant, and Cam Taylor-Britt, who's playing pretty good corner, definitely got spinned around here. I mean, this is the separation you want on an RPO.
Oh,
yeah. So this is what you call a diamond release, people. And that's just beautiful stuff right there. All right. Now, I wanted to show these last two routes here because mostly just because the timing and what Jakobi Meyers does, like, you know, how he's not like Devontae Adams. He's not like getting crazy out of his breaks. Like, the timing of this is why he's able to match up with Gardner Minshew. It makes it easier for a quarterback to anticipate to him because he's not just he's going to run the route how it's supposed to be run directly, right? It's right there. Minshew's able to throw it in between these two safeties because he knows Meyers is going to be there. And that's what I'm talking about, why he's great for a young quarterback. These two plays right here. Yeah, I'm telling you, Minshew did not play bad, man. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. I was like, man, you're like kind of coming into your own in this offense a little bit, and they let you go. You got benched. All right, but here's another example, which allows Ritter to kind of anticipate too here. Like he's just not, because this had to be, because you see this guy, he's in his cover three. This dude is running as hard as he can to get to this curl flat, but the timing and everything allows Ritter to get rid of the ball quick, get that ball in that window. Let's see here. So, yeah, I mean, that was the Raiders' offense for the most part. JPJ looks great. Thayer Munford cannot play left tackle. And Jakobi Meyers, he's low-key underrated to me, man. I'm starting to get on the Jakobi Meyers train. The more I watch him, the more I believe, man. The more I really like his game, and I think that somebody that, like I said, they bring in one of these young guys, they're gonna need somebody like him that's always gonna be on point, always gonna be in the right spot. So, and the quarterback can be on the right page with him. I think they got to keep him, man.
Yeah, man, I think Jakobi, for me, like, he's the one guy, like, I know it's only been a couple of games that he's been back since Devontae was gone, but, like, I kind of expected him to just kind of, I don't know, fade into or not quite get as much separation as he had been again with a little bit more attention on him, but he's balled out, man. He's had a couple of good games in the last 2 weeks. I think Sunday was his first, like, 100-yard game with the Raiders and first since, like, 2022, something like that, when he's with the Patriots. So, had a pretty damn good game. I mean, the one thing I was surprised you didn't show it, I thought JPJ had a couple of really nice stunt pickups. There was like one where they put like 4 on a side with trying to isolate Trey Hendricks on Thayer Munford. Like there was a nice did a nice job like feeling it out and communicating up front, and had a couple of ones that were, again, when we compare him to Andre James, that's one of the issues I think we both had with James, and that even looked better a little bit too. It's impressive for a guy that's, one, a rookie, and 2, making his first start at center. So there was a lot to like about JPJ from this last game, and even if James is healthy, I'm hoping they keep him there because he looks a lot better. Funny how the best center in college football last year looks good at center in the NFL.
Shocking.
Well, hey.
Or Eddie, because he looked shaky at left guard, but that was his first time playing left guard, like ever.
Yeah,
I mean, the way that he was bouncing on the inside of his on the inside of his insteps with the anchor, you know, and the way that he looks real comfortable doing that, I could tell that that's a very technically sound player. This JPJ. So yeah, he definitely looked good, very comfortable as a center. That was impressive.
Yeah, I was impressed by him for sure. All right, guys, let's get into this defense. Let's check out this defense. Whoever wants to go first.
Want to do some Richardson first?
Yeah, let's do some Richardson.
You guys got me up there.
Let me get you up here. Boom, yeah, you're good.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with a couple of clips against the run here. I don't think this is, these aren't highlight reel worthy clips or anything like that from Richardson, but this was one area that I was a little bit worried with him coming into the NFL because he is pretty slender, is defending the run, and I mean, had some decent plays here. Like you see this one, like obviously not going to make the tackle here, but what I do like, getting physical, fighting with the wide receiver, and at the very least, we're not getting wide in towards the sideline, and we're forcing this running back to cut up into Paul O'Malley, the safety. I got a little bit messy by number 5 here in the run fit, but again, as far as Richardson's concerned, like this is a solid rep. We can work with this one. We can at least build off of it. Again, for a guy that's a rookie, is on the smaller side and getting his first real live action. See it from the end zone view. Again, decent job getting off that block too. If Paul now doesn't make that tackle, he gets involved in it. Kind of gets in there at the end, but either way. Now this one was even more impressive to me. Again, not going to make the tackle here, but the way he gets off this block and like the aggression that I love is this kind of stuff that I love to see, that I think, especially when we look at other games throughout this year, we haven't quite seen from some of the Raiders corners, is this willingness to play the run. Again, front side or the front 7 do their job this time and end up making the tackle. But as far as Richardson's concerned, this is great corner play to me from to at least defend against the run.
The D line guy loves the stack and shed.
I do. I thought he was going to be putting on like 52 and not 25 here. I thought
right. Yeah. You like that.
Get off the block, baby. Don't get blocked by receivers. Never. All right. Moving on to him in coverage a little bit. Can show a couple of reps where he does get a little beat on these. Both came in man coverage going up against Yoshivats on this one. I mean, to me, BD, feel free to interject here. It looks like he bites a little bit hard on the out route here. Maybe a little bit too high. Like to see him sink his hips a little bit faster. Does get up separation. Burrow ends up hitting Yuseki in the back of the end zone anyway, but not awful. Just not perfect or clean.
I mean, if that's targeted in rhythm, it's not going to be a trail like chase drag or something like that. It's going to be here. So that he gave up a touchdown if that's in rhythm.
Yeah.
So he's not in a spot to contest that. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Not a great rep on this one, but I'll tell you what, these were few and far between. I only have like about 2 clips of him getting really kind of beat. This one's going to be up against Chase. I mean, does lose a little bit here on the in breaker, which tough cover against cover 1 with no one in the middle of the field here, or with got Adam Butler playing as the low hole dropper here. That's not exactly what we're looking for. But again,
cop, yeah.
This one got a little lucky here. Yeah, but
that's gonna happen though. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because and with that route, sometimes the quarterback has to throw it on the complete opposite side of the field, and you have like time to get over to the numbers. But yeah, if it turns into a race, you have to be able to like play through it, because you could get an underthrow or something. So like that's good cornerback play. It's like when you're in a trail position and you're beat, you're out of phase, it's just like gunning it down. Because it could be an underthrow rather. But I mean, I think that he's fine, honestly, with all these. These are solid. There's nothing wrong with these clips, really.
For sure. Yeah. All right, moving on to more of the positive clips. End with the 3 good ones here. Again, this one going up against Chase, the one I talked about earlier, getting physical, a little out and up here, and does a pretty good job getting reattached. And what I wanted to point out is if we watch Joe Burrow's eyes, and then Marcus, I mean, you remember this from the preview.
Yeah.
When Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase one-on-one against single high coverage, how many times we see him just chuck it up to him? A lot, right? This time, I mean, he's looking at him. That's his first read, but he doesn't like it because, again, Richardson does a good job getting physical, nice on the jam, playing a good inside the hip there, or on the hip there, and Burrow ends up coming off of it. So, again, for these 2 guys who typically love hitting each other on these little deep routes and against single eye, I'll take that rep from a rookie. This time I'm going to get man coverage against Getsy, who's basically a big slot receiver, natural tight end. Again, man coverage here. What I like about this too is you see the inside release from the outside slot receiver, where it kind of comes into like a natural pick. But what I like from Richardson is he recognizes it, avoids the pick, and then just gets attached to his man. Now we get the scramble drill. Again, just running with Getsy. Here, beautiful job playing the ball, or beautiful job playing here, not looking back for the ball with a little bit of separation. And then two, just forcing him out of bounds, using the sideline as our friend against a guy that's got a few pounds on us too. So another nice rep I thought here from Richardson to get a.
That's what I was saying with when you're out of phase and just gunning it down. Just that is really good. Like a ton of plays have been made like that when you're beat as a corner in the NFL, and you just don't give up on it, and you just hawk the guy down.
Make up speed, baby.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Now this one gonna be kind of similar. Raiders gonna play cover 3. I like how he does a decent job of staying on top of the go route. The one thing, and I don't know, BD, I'm curious for your take on this too. With him being on top of the go route and the ball being air at this point, when he goes and kind of like speed turns and faces the receiver, I mean, for me personally, I'd like to see him just keep running, especially with the speed that he has. And now that we know there's not going to be a back shoulder throw or a curl or something like that, go up and make a play on the ball. Instead, he kind of turns and just kind of goes for the force out up here. So I'm curious what your take on this.
He didn't trust it right here. I mean, I agree with you. Like the whole point of this is that you're sitting on that. Like in cover 3, you're sitting on this. Everything else is open, right? And so you should be able to just run the route.
Yeah.
Well, once he gets level with you, but he didn't trust it. He wasn't in phase completely. He didn't get it pinned right. So you want to get your butt on that guy. You want to get your hips or something like touching that guy as he goes by you, so you get a contact key, so you can just like look at the quarterback and then adjust to the ball. But I guess he just thought he panicked. He was like, oh yeah, I think this guy slipped behind me. But I totally agree with you. He should have trusted it. But he's in a solid spot where he can use the length and create a force out essentially.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think as we were talking about right here, like he kind of gets attached and then get a hand on the hip a little bit and make sure that guy gets out of bounds. But yeah, I 100% agree with you.
He doesn't make it like easy for the wide receiver at the end. But yeah, I agree. He could have played it better. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like the one thing I will say with Cameron Richardson is like, one, again, young guy, maybe not completely confident in it, but the other thing is too, like going back to his days at Mississippi State when he was coming out of college, one of his biggest flaws were ball skills. Like I think if he had picks, it was very few, like 1 or 2 in college. So I think probably that's part of it too, of like he doesn't have that confidence in his game. But from everything else we see, and when he gets to that level, like, and again, he stayed on top of the route for the majority of the rep until he kind of just gave up on it there at the end. So I liked a lot what I saw, and there's definitely a lot to work with, and definitely felt like he was a little bit more ahead of his schedule than I might have thought going into the season. So
yeah, I did notice that guy Flash. I was watching him a lot more closely during your breakdown just now. So there's definitely some good things. I won't talk about him too much. I'll let him develop. But yeah, there's definitely some good things. So that should be encouraging. So you guys basically, we're just pivoting in our coverage totally to like future players.
Yeah. We're young players over here.
Got you.
Absolutely.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. When I'm covering for Matt. Bet. So let me do this, and I'll do my share here, and then okay. So really, I'm talking about cover 2 mainly in the first part of this. So this is a cover 2 look. They're disguising it. This has got to be a third down if they're going to disguise it. Yeah, 3rd down 5. And then it turns into a cover 2, and I just want you to watch a couple players here. Not Spillane, but you could watch in this package. This is a dime package, so you can watch Trayvon Merrick, and you can watch Jack Jones. They're making it look like it's man, And then those players, they're going to shade and watch them both work towards the hash and get about a yard or two outside the hash. That's what you're supposed to do in cover 2. You're supposed to get some depth and really work towards those hashes. So this is what cover 2 is supposed to look like, and then you force a check down and you rally to it and you try to get off the field. That's how cover 2 works. Okay. So we're just gonna look at the way that Divine Diablo is playing cover 2, and I think that's kind of giving some real easy catches, underneath and in the middle of the field. So first things first here. Remember, we're talking about being 2 yards outside the hash. So Divine Diablo, he starts 2 yards outside the hash, and immediately he starts working laterally. And when we're playing in the hook, we should be working vertically and not laterally. So really, he needs to maintain the position that he is and kind of hug that hash and hang out as close to this hash as he possibly can here. And because he's bouncing out of there so early and quick in the rep, it's making it like an obvious, like this is like Joe Burrow's basically reading him, and Burrow's like, okay, if this hook player isn't like there, I'm just throwing this immediately, right? So I don't know if he's doing that, if he's bouncing out there. If you see Divine Diablo, he's bouncing out there. He needs to be 1 to 2 yards outside the hatch here. So there's no reason for him to bounce out unless he thinks that he can bait him into a like a pick or something like that. He did do that earlier in the year. Yeah, he had a great play like that early in the year. So maybe that is like biting him in the butt. But now he's basically trying that every week. Here's another one. You see him here. He's perfect. Okay, and then you see him bounce out of that lane. Okay, so he's in a great spot right here. He's hugging that hash. We got 2 guys on the hash. We got a Tampa 2 dropper right here. And now he just needs to kind of anticipate someone coming from the opposite side and working their way to his hash. But you see him kind of like not trust it and kind of bounce everywhere, right? Like his feet aren't settled. He's hopping everywhere. He's unsure. And because he's unsure, he creates a window for Joe Burrow to fit that in. So, I mean, his feet, like if you just watch number 5's feet here in the middle of the field, he's everywhere. He's jumping around. He doesn't really know what he's doing, and really he just needs to settle and be calm, and just settle right here, and be 1 to 2 yards outside the hash, and settle his feet, and everything is going to come to him.
What is he doing?
Yeah. So he's spazzing out there. Yeah, exactly. So here's another one. So now I understand his adjustment because we have formation into the boundary. We have 3 receivers out here. We have 3 receivers into the short side of the field. So you see in his alignment, he's already gaining depth. He's already like a full 5 yards outside the hash. So that means he no longer needs to work lateral. His alignment is already there. He needs to work vertical, and he needs to stay in the hook. And so once the ball is snapped, what we're going to see from him is, again, he works laterally and he gets out of that hook and he allows a window for this quarterback to throw. So what I'm saying is he's already, because of the formation, he's already way outside, and he needs to start working vertically back towards the hash, because that's how cover 2 works. And so if he is sitting here, I don't think Joe Burrow tries this. We can watch it from this angle here. My argument is he needs to work back towards that hash, vertically back. And if he works back in that window, I don't think this is a completion, or this is something that the quarterback, if he's right here, I don't think the quarterback attempts this. So and goes somewhere else with that play. So and again, he's out of place again, way far outside the hash. Look at this hook player. He's right on the hash. So that's exactly where Diablo needs to be. He needs to be creating like this triangle with everyone else, but he's super far out of position. And on top of that, he's out of position. He doesn't anticipate this crosser. So and because he's so wide, because if he's just right here on the hash, I don't think the quarterback's going to wait for this guy to like get clear into the second window. Like it's going to force the quarterback to hold the ball longer, right? If he really wants that drag, but it's a super wide open window, and now he has to make a tackle in space on one of the best, or on a fantastic athlete. It's just him being out of position in the coverage, and his feet are everywhere. This is really all it's coming down to over and over and over again. So. You just see, like, again, he's supposed to be here. This is where he's supposed to be. So happening quite a bit, unfortunately. This is a red zone cover 2. You see him here. These are the hook players. And it's a little bit of a scramble drill. And he kind of gets caught. He wants to plaster to this guy, but I mean, the corner's already here, and then this guy's sneaks out on him. I mean, if this is nitpicking at this point, but it just happened to be, again, he gives up, another catch and score in that same coverage. So I mean, basically, Joe Burrow had a perfect quarterback rating, multiple touchdowns, targeting Devon Diablo in cover 2 specifically. So that's a problem for the Raiders. But yeah, I guess I beat a dead horse right there. And then we can just watch the rest of this. Is just going to go over the Raiders, the rest of the Raiders defense touchdowns that they gave up. And I think that the common theme here, this play, we can watch it from this angle, and the last play, the common theme on these touchdowns and a lot of these big plays is we don't have contain. And you let the quarterback get out the pocket. You let NFL quarterbacks get out the pocket and let them use every blade of grass on the way to the sideline. They're going to make big plays against, because that's how defenses break down. That is very difficult to defend. And so really you see here, I think Max Crosby, he's just taking it on himself to be Superman. He's just going to go for an inside move here. And the problem is we don't have like a a tackle like looping around to be a contained rusher. We have no contain. No one is keeping the quarterback in the pocket here. And so the same kind of thing happens on this one as well. I don't know if this is a called play or freelancing, from the defensive line or what. But again, we got a defensive end rushing inside, going for an inside move, and no one is containing. And so when you let the quarterback break out the pocket, what do you expect these guys to do in the secondary? It's very difficult. So like that's kind of like the main theme, in some of these. This last play here, it is technically on Spillane. He's here on the back, and when the quarterback breaks the pocket, you got to plaster to your man. And it turns into a race. And this is, Burrow knows if that's what it's going to be, we have a matchup that I can exploit now. And let me do it. Right. I mean, that guy has wheels. He would have ran past Nate Hobbs. Yeah. Or he did run past Nate Hobbs on that one. Okay. So we can watch this one from the, inside angle. We got, it looks like another inside stunt, but this time we actually have, Butler getting out here, getting ready to contain. Right. So that's how it should work. And so it does force now Burrow to now climb instead. Okay. But we're everywhere. We're not winning anywhere else. And yeah, like that is going to, once you get into a scramble drill like this, it is difficult. But the main culprit here, as far as the defense goes, is Trayvon Merrick. He gets into man coverage, and I want you to watch his feet. He's gonna lunge, okay? And we need to be a little bit more patient if we want to go for a quick jam. You got to have a little bit more weight distributed, and not so evenly and horizontal. If you want to go for a quick jam, I don't think he's going for a quick jam though. I think he is going for a press. And he's getting a little too antsy, and he guesses and he lunges. And so he's right now immediately he lost the rep because he gets stacked. And once you get stacked, you can just really hope and pray that you guess right. He stumbles. He at the top of the rep right here gets kind of killed in the scramble drill. So Trayvon Merrick, bad man coverage rep, and it doesn't help that this quarterback made it a phenomenal play, phenomenal effort to avoid the rush. All right, so here's a fun one. There is one fun one in here, right? Okay, so the reason why I included this is I just want to make sure everyone understands here. So who is this? This is a wide receiver. He's motioning into the backfield. Jack Jones is a smart player. He sees that and he knows that this is an alert. And he sees all this head gestures and talking that these guys are doing. Okay, and all this peeking that Burrow is giving over to him. He's just like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to take a gamble and go for it, right? So like this is an example of like a smart player. I'm sure that they've done something similar on film in the past. Whatever it is. Jack Jones saw it. He knew that they were going to throw there, maybe like a little screen, and he took the gamble, okay, and he went for it. So that was a smart play. That was a heady play. And then the final touchdown that they gave up, we got something similar where we're going to get like a little shoot route, swing route or whatever from 3, and we're in cover 0. We're in straight man across the board. So the guy who's running out there, Chase, Jack Jones is his coverage defender. The problem here, though, is Darnay Holmes sees it and goes, "Oh, I want one of those pick sixes too."
Whoops.
He's like, "Oh," they were talking about it on the sideline. Jack Jones came back to the side. He was like, "Yo, I saw him when they came into the thing, and I just wanted and I jumped in front of it. Blah 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 blah." He's got everyone hyped, and then secondary, they're in cover 0, so they know the ball's coming out hot. So he's like, "All right, this is my chance too. I'm gonna do it too." And he gets caught looking. Darnay Holmes, I can't even be mad at him, but that was the tale of that touchdown that they gave up at the end right there.
Oh man,
yeah. I just love Darnay Holmes thinking, "This is my moment. This is my moment." Ah, shit.
He really thought he was onto something there.
And it's funny, probably Burrow did some like eye manipulation with that too. Probably like
definitely.
And just like, oh yeah, I do that.
No,
you can't do that.
As soon as they jumped it, the offense coordinator was like, "I know exactly the play I'm running. Yeah, I know exactly what we're gonna call here."
Oh man! All right. So Divine Diablo is still not good. All right, cool. Good to know. Thank you, BD, for showing us that.
I'm just glad someone else got to say it, because I get the Divine Diablo hater tag all the time, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, thank God someone else said it.
This is why I love Tape Don't Lie. You can't argue. Like, we're not trying to create narratives here. We can only show you what the film says, right? So, I mean, I don't know how many clips that was. That was like 5 or 6 clips of him getting just abused in that same exact coverage. So I would hold, and he's definitely capable of just fixing his positioning. I don't know if he's like trying to bait the quarterback or what's going on, but and I don't know where the coaching staff is at. But he's definitely capable of fixing that. But we'll see if he does.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with the Diablo is I feel like it's the same issues every time. Like him in zone coverage, like, is just a complete liability. Like, there's plays like that. There's plays where he takes the cheese and stuff like that and doesn't play it back to front. And it's just he seems to me to be like more out of position than he's in a position at this stage. And it's year 4. Like, you're a free agent in the off season. Like,
we'll find a linebacker in free agency basically in the draft. That's how I feel about it after watching that. Like, yeah, I'm done with that, man. I can't
you gave up on him right after that.
I was like, because we've been seeing that for like 3 years at this point, like his whole career, man. I mean, if you can't get the linebacker zone stuff by now, are you going to get it? Like, I don't think so. Like, he's been in the same scheme for 3 years, dog. Like, nah, like, this isn't new. These calls aren't new. You know what I mean? Like, this is the same call he's had since 2022. You've had the same damn call. You're making the same mistakes. Nah, man. Yeah, like it ain't working. It ain't working. That project is not working. Gus Bradley's not coming to save him. Like it's over. So he trade him to the Colts so he could sign with Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley's still doing all right with the Colts. He's got a future with Gus Bradley over there. I think Gus Bradley's gonna sign him. You know he is. So he has a future with Gus over there, and I think we'll have to move on and try to figure out what's happening at linebacker. But yeah, man, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
It's defensive line and linebacker. Yep.
Yeah, because I think that the play wasn't even the touchdown, the near touchdown to the dude from Princeton. It was the seam play, because like why are you getting so wide? Like what are you seeing that's making you get that wide and allowing a quarterback like Joe Burrow, just as soon as he even took a step this way, Joe Burrow caught the ball and threw it right behind his head. Like you aren't playing. I don't know who he thinks he's playing every week, but
in the game plan, when they go every week, they have the opposing team's depth chart and they have notes. You know what I'm saying? The notes for Devon Diablo when these teams are going up against him is he can be manipulated. Like ball fakes, motions. Just you can run your offense through that guy right behind that, because he's gonna jump everywhere. So he's got to settle it down. Did the Raiders have an option behind him right now? Is
Eichenberg?
Eichenberg's not good in coverage either. But I mean, Gainer from the preseason, that dude from was it 53? I mean,
yeah.
At this point in the season, it's why not? And especially again, if Diablo is a free agent who you're not going to bring back, like why not give the young guy some reps? I mean, maybe you don't want to hurt his confidence, but I mean, at this stage, give him some chance. Give him a chance to prove himself. Get some live reps. Maybe get better.
Yeah. So. It's not. We're not asking these guys to play man coverage on their back, on a choice concept. We're just saying,
just good to your landmark.
Get there and then play football. The guys. Yeah. So I mean, Eichenberg has to be able to do better than
that. You would think. We'll see, man. We'll see. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Of course, preview this week. Probably do a Q&A on Friday. But that's how it goes, guys. It's bye week. And that's how it's to go, man. So probably maybe I'll do some draft stuff. I was watching Carson Beck throw picks today, so that was cool. So I mean, the Raiders gonna be picking top 5. I mean, I don't know what quarterback they're gonna take, but they're taking the quarterback. We would hope. And we'll see how that's gonna go. But I mean that's really it's a bye week, guys. So we're gonna get a little break over here too. Matt's gonna have a baby.
Good luck, Matt.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we'll be back next week. And I hope you guys enjoyed this though, for sure. All right, right here. Peace.